problem now is, even if this escalates into a huge thing, which a lot of people are fearing, then it takes the whole Eastern Horn of Africa down with it, because Ethiopia is one of the most stable countries in this region. Hello guys, welcome to Dejene Ethiopia Tours. My name is Dejene Hodes, and today we're going to be talking about a topic that's slightly sensitive in Ethiopia, and we're going to be discussing different things and my thoughts and what's going on. You know, a lot of the big analysts or political analysts from different regions said, could this backfire on Abiy as a leader? Because Ethiopia doesn't have a long history with democracy, that kind of democracy that he was talking about. It's always some form of democracy with tied into restricted movements. But now you're saying freedom of speech, political prisoners are free, we are forgiving people, and we're starting new. So that, in a country without a very high level of education for democracy and different forms of education and philosophy, was a big problem. And a lot of people are saying, could this backfire on him? So about, a year after his being in power and all that, things started happening. All the, different people that he had freed that were first, or hooray and supportive and everything, then started having their own ideas. So for me, the problem there was I really didn't know which person was honest, which person was really fighting for, for his country, in a way to say, like the right reasons and stuff. Because a lot of the leaders seem to me to be very one ethnic group based. So their philosophy was this: my ethnicity group should be a leader, which is not right. I mean, Ethiopia is one country, even though we have, all the 80-something tribes, is one country, led as one country, and history has always been like that. So the thing that bothered me was a lot of the leaders, so we couldn't say, like they're really fighting for this change to happen in Ethiopia as a whole that's progressive and amazing and a good change. So, and then when you look at it from Abiy's side, he was doing a lot of things that were so right that excited everybody, the peace with Eritrea, something that's been going on for 20-something years. And then making the 50% of the cabinet women, which was amazing, very high push. Making the parliament, right now the parliament is about 37% female in Ethiopia, much higher than it is in the US or anywhere, a lot of places really. A very progressive move. And then within that, the economic movements that he's been pushing. So that whole excited everybody, excited me, excited, around the world. Which ended up, he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, which is one of the highest awards you can get as a leader for a cause and everything. But with all that change comes a lot of change to the old guard, or the people that were in power before, or the people who had different ideas and everything that they were fighting for to keep before. Now they're all being displaced, position of power and everything. So this leads me right into what is the leader of the opposition fight right now in Tigray. He was one of the people that was actually said to be in power before Abiy. He lost to Abiy. He's part of the party that has been leading Ethiopia for the past 20-something years, 27 years or 30 years. He's part of the first founding of those. So he claims he has the right, and Abiy's not right and stuff. But at the end of it, with all that conflict of going on with one leader to another person that was supposed to be in power that didn't, or another person that thinks it's now time for this tribe to be a leader or that tribe to be a leader. It's so many different philosophies, and all of them have, in a way, resolved to some kind of violent and threatening and all kind of different forms. Whereas in a country where for the first time you have freedom of speech to really say whatever you want, as long as it's true and accurate and informative, why not take the leadership of the great, leaders that have peacefully protested against major things, you know, Gandhi, Martin Luther King, in Africa, Mandela, like people who really led a huge movement against very big opposition to be very successful in what they did. So Ethiopia, I feel like, is at that moment where a true leader would come in a peaceful way, have an idea, have a movement, and lead. And I think that's where the violence is going on. Right now, the Tigray people are paying for this violence that's not really caused by them or anything like that, but the opposition party or opposition group happens to be within their base, so they're suffering for it, which is very sad. I mean, it's a devastating thing for people also been through an amazing amount of war beforehand. When the party, the TPLF, the Tigray Liberation Front, was started, they started from Tigray and they fought against the Derg or the dictatorship that Ethiopia had gone through before that. So they have gone through so much war, and now the same thing is happening. So it's kind of very devastating and very sad, and it's really something that should be resolved peacefully and outside of war in a political, democratic way. That's my feeling for it, because the problem now is, even if this escalates into a huge thing, which a lot of people are fearing, then it takes the whole eastern Horn of Africa down with it, because Ethiopia is one of the most stable countries in this region and has been one of the stable grounds, creating peace agreements, even sending peaceful troops to Somalia, and everything. So if we in Ethiopia go into chaos or war and stuff, it really destabilizes a lot of our neighboring countries also, and the whole region. So this is something that should be taken seriously between the two leaders, of saying, it's more than us. We're affecting a lot more than just 2 people, 3 people, or whatever. This is affecting a whole country, a whole region, a whole tribe. And so that's my thoughts on it. I just wanted to cover a slight base of this, because I don't want to ignore it, but it's so hard to have an opinion of this is right or that's wrong, when everybody says I am right. The information you get is from both sides, that they're right and the other person is wrong, and this and that. So as a country led by law, I do agree that the federal government has certain rights. So like the thing that escalated this whole thing was that the election for the prime minister was postponed by Abiy because of Corona, and before that a little bit because of all the disturbance that was happening within the country. And then the Tigray leader said, no, we do not accept that, and they had their own election, which he deemed illegal, and which obviously then they don't take his authority, they don't accept his authority or acknowledge his authority. So that leads to a huge conflict, which we're living through right now. Very sad thing, and I really hope that it would be resolved very soon. I don't know the outcome, because you really don't have enough ground information to say one way or the other for anybody, really. I don't know anybody that has really reported accurately. I've read all the New York Times or the Washington Post or all the articles that that you would rely on. So I don't know what's going to happen, but this is a very sad thing that Ethiopia is going through. But at the same time, I happen to think I have to be positive and I have to be optimistic and start to do what I think will be, this will come to an end soon, and Ethiopia will go on to its prosperity and growth and everything. So just wanted to send you a note of this and say that, all that is a crazy thing happening in Ethiopia right now, and this is what I think about it. It's a personal thought, I don't have any authority or anything. So just, thank you very much. I hope this gives you a small glimpse of thoughts and ideas in Ethiopia, what's going on. Please let us know what you think about it. Subscribe, share, comment. Let us know if you have different ideas. So this video in particular, I would like it to be a dialogue of people who have different ideas. Doesn't matter whether you agree with me or not, just let's share ideas, talk, communicate. And I think that's the only way to really solve this issue right now. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you soon.